Ancient Egypt is one of the most fascinating cultures the Earth has ever seen. So many people are dedicated to unearthing the secrets of this society, both in a casual and a professional capacity. The Great Pyramids are one of the most iconic structures associated with ancient Egypt. Why did the Egyptians build these structures, and why didn't they make more of them? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell as we move forward. To precisely define ancient Egypt, it is a North African society that existed from 3100 BC to 30 BC. It is considered by many historians and archaeologists to be the first human civilization ever. In all the long years since ancient Egyptian society was in its prime, many of their monuments and knowledge survives to this day. In fact, yet more discoveries of the ancient Egyptians are being discovered today. Having tamed the desert, the ancient Egyptians were far advanced from other societies in terms of travel, medicine, warfare, and governance. However, one of the things that they are most noted for was their unique architecture. The ancient Egyptians created giant monuments which had high religious and cultural significance. Some of these include the Sphinx as well as the Great Pyramids of Giza. It still baffles many archaeologists how the ancient Egyptians were capable of building these structures. Though they aren't made of ultra-modern materials, they still stand the test of time. So many pyramids were built during the ancient Egyptian era. However, most of them have been lost to the sands of the desert. Of the few that remain, they provide a glimpse into the great nation's rich and glorious past. The pyramids were built largely to honor the pharaoh, the god-king of the ancient Egyptian people. To the ancient Egyptians, the pharaoh was not just a man, but was also a member of the illustrious pantheon of gods. They were believed to possess divine powers, one of which was the ability to reincarnate. The ancient Egyptians were very reverent with regard to their dead, especially when the dead people in question were of noble, royal, or divine status. Ancient Egyptian physicians came up with the concept of mummification. This was a burial technique intended to preserve the body in as great a condition as possible over several years. It required the application of certain creams, balms, and special mixtures, the formulae of which have been lost to time. As fascinating as mummification was in and of itself, it wasn't the end-all be-all. The ancient Egyptian pharaohs had some rather fancy coffins covered in gold and crafted in the likeness of their owners. Once placed within the coffins, they were carried to some very special large tombs. These tombs were known as the Great Pyramids. That's right, the Great Pyramids were, first and foremost, tombs. Not tombs for just anyone. Common folk were largely buried in the ground, just like in most other societies. The pyramids were made primarily to be tombs for the pharaohs. After all, the pharaohs were considered gods among men. It's only fitting that their final resting place be grand and majestic. They were also buried as extravagantly as possible, carrying most of their jewelry with them to the grave. Jewelry, which is sometimes called grave robbers. As fascinating as the pyramids were, the periods during which they were constructed don't overlap with the entire historical timeline of the ancient Egyptian people. This is to say, certain periods had a high rate of pyramid construction, while others had next to zero pyramids built. There are also way fewer pyramids observed today than the ancient Egyptians are reported to have built. Why is this the case? There are several reasons why this may be. After all, building a pyramid is no easy feat. For one, this discrepancy could be due to the fact that, in the beginning, ancient Egyptians lacked the technical know-how to make their pyramids strong. It makes sense that pyramid building would take centuries, if not millennia, to perfect. From what we know today, they eventually mastered the pyramid building process. Today's pyramids might last for tens of thousands of years more. This aside, the main reason they stopped building pyramids is that they lacked the economic power to support those undertakings. As time went on, ancient Egypt as a society began to lose its influence and wealth. Eventually, it fell under the control of the Greeks and became a Greek province. When that happened, no one remained to order more pyramids. As sad as the demise of ancient Egyptian societies may be, it's great that so much of their handiwork survives today. The Great Pyramids serve as an inspiration for many around the world, showing us what's possible with purpose and cooperation. Coming to the end of this video, we hope you've learned much about the Great Pyramids and their significance to ancient Egyptians. They weren't just architectural marvels, but had a deep cultural and religious significance. If you want to learn more, check out other videos on this channel. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share if you enjoyed the content.